Yeah. Yeah. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about all the technical difficulties we've been having here tonight. As T-Bone is having some issues, I'm going to be continuing on with the broadcast here as he is trying to solve some problems with his PC. We are back with DJ Vincent up in the lead right now. Lucas Lewis in second. Isaiah Fox in third, with Mark Morton in fourth, and Charlie Bennett in fifth. It's been a bit of a crazy one here tonight with that crash that we just had, as I was a bit not remembering what I was supposed to do there and forgot to unmute mics. That's on me, that's for sure. But we are back here again, and with that last crash we had, it definitely looked like that was netcode, and we are having some issues with a lot of these drivers. We've noticed that a couple drivers, it seems like, have completely lagged out of the game. It looks like maybe... No, he is not back yet, so he is still having problems. Corey Rainey has disconnected it, and you know, still a lot of guys that are kind of struggling here and having a lot of connection issues tonight. So we're going to try and stay here, keep you guys with the coverage as much as possible. And do what we can. All right. Yeah, and DJ Vincent up in the lead, you know, running a strong race here. Had JJ Moore in that pit cycle there that was in the lead. Looked like he might have had a little bit of damage if I'm looking at his pit. Yes, with a 38-second pit, maybe a little bit of damage there that he had to get fixed up, so ended up falling back to, I believe he was in 7th before the start there. Lucas Lewis hunting right now on DJ's bumper. Right there trying to get that first place position, but does not work out of 4. As we are carving through the race here, we're going to go ahead and crawl back a little bit in the pack here as these front guys kind of keep battling it out and check up on the field. So we're going to fall back here to Owen Lax, check up on his race. Been a strong competitor this season. Got a couple wins and really, you know, just been leading a lot when it comes to his position and everything like that. Been having strong races all throughout his season. Back in 9th right now and started in 11th. He is also currently our director for the Truck Series, and has been doing a wonderful job of that so far. Sorry about that, folks. Still helping T-Bone there with some of these technical difficulties, trying to get some stuff figured out on his end. So we're going to go ahead and pop back here. Joshua, nope, never mind, has a disconnect. It looks like Jeffrey Bourne. Just coming out of pits there in our number 96. Jeffrey, a part of Steel City Racing. You know, Steel City this entire season has had its ups and downs. Mark Morton with his issues, and a lot of these drivers, just, having some problems here and there. Jeffrey has been somewhat consistent, man. He's been out every race, not had too many issues, and consistently putting in those laps. And that has been the core right now when it comes to a driver for the series, or for Steel City, sorry. As we're going to pop into another Steel City Racing driver right in front of him, Tristan Pena, the rookie for Steel City. And whoops, sorry about that. He has been doing a wonderful job in his position so far as rookie. He's got a few wins under his belt, I will say, and has been doing a great job so far in his position, just really dominating the field, having consistent top positions, and almost every race, you always got to have him somewhat in consideration because he could come out of nowhere and win it all. Popping over to Lucas Lewis behind DJ Vincent right now. And Lucas had a very strong season as well. One of our stronger drivers here in the series. And I'm assuming that Lucas tonight, with a bit of the hardship that he has had for some of the past few races, that he's hoping to pull off a win tonight. And definitely in the position right now to do exactly that. But as of right now, our biggest mover leading the pack, JJ Moore, starting back in 15th place, up in the lead right now, just dominating with a almost 1 second gap on DJ Vincent, where Vincent was dominating majority of this race up until this point. And it looks like some of these drivers have actually started to get into their feel of these cars and starting to feel a lot better. Not seeing as much of aggressive driving. Haven't seen a caution in a while, but that might just be a commentator's curse right there, so shouldn't probably said that. Bad view there, my bad. I do not have all the great cameras like the wonderful T-Bone has. We'll get that one. We'll go to this. That's a better view. Following Pena here. Kind of doing all right. Hasn't fallen back too much, but he is back one position. As we do get a caution out here. Looking like a meatball for Han is what I'm seeing so far. And yes, it does look like Han crashed. Born with a meatball. Or not yet. Bennett, sorry. Charlie Bennett there with the meatball. So we're going to fall back here to the Han crash and see what happened. Looks like he is in 3 here already and kind of losing it. Maybe, oh, this is showing after. Hang on, sorry about that, folks. Let's roll it back and figure what happened to Joshua Han here. Coming out of the corner. Runs high, bumps wall into the inside real hard. That is going to probably call it a day for Han. As that car is... Oh, and there's where Charlie Bennett came. And what a sad way for Charlie Bennett to get caught up in that. That is definitely not the way you want things to go. As we'll just follow Charlie here, kind of see the path that he was going with. Oh, that was actually, never mind. That was his second crash afterwards. Looked like he had damage and had to call it a day at that point. So looks like we have 2 good drivers out. A little bit further through the race here. This track, like we said early in the day, is going to eat them up and spit them right back out. And that is exactly what it has been doing. We are having netcode issues. Our lead broadcaster's PC has seemingly gone to heaven. You know, we are really just seeing it all here tonight. The net code, the amount of wrecks, it's always the monster mile no matter what. So I think it's really living up to its name, and it is turning into quite a monster for everyone right now. So we got Choose Cone here, JJ Moore in the lead, DJ Vincent second, Mark Morton in third. Sorry about that. Isaiah Fox in 5th, Tristan Pena in 6th, Owen Lax in 7th place, Kyle Sims in 8th, Brendan Carroll in 9th, and it looks like Bourne is going to be in 11th, but he is 4 laps down, and Bennett is out. We have quite a list of out drivers right now. We have the 08 of Charlie Bennett, 96 of Jeffrey Bourne, 42 of Joshua Hahn, 88 of Joshua Mason, 25 of Caleb Hess, the 92 of Jordan Otten, Jack Plyler in the 43, the number 4 of Corey Rainey, the number 9 of Jordan Fisher, and the number 1 of Peter Hoppy Jr., all out tonight. So, like I said, just chewing them up and spitting them out. That is not... Well, also Stephen Hollingsworth. Sorry. Also Stephen Hollingsworth. Even though it says he's in pits. Unless he's still repairing, which would be a 47-minute repair at this point, I don't think he's getting back in the race. As we're green flag again. JJ Moore running off in the lead with that C4 Energy car. Lucas Lewis taking second there from DJ Vincent, as we saw a little bit in the back there. Ooh, looks like either Vincent or Lewis, couldn't really tell from the angle, got up into the wall there. definitely not what you want right now with every bit of chaos that has been happening here tonight, and we are still yet to be halfway through this race. As Lucas Lewis goes around, looks like DJ Vincent might have gave him the bumper there. Oh. So, another wreck at the Monster, man. It just tearing them up, spitting them out. Just, it does not care. This one does not really seem to be as, a little bit different maybe than some of the others. So we're watching here, DJ right on Lucas Lewis bumper. Had a good run on him, it looks like. And just barely clips that back bumper there. And sends him on around. And with that impact, that could be it. It's going to be a good bit of repairs, that is for sure. But he could get back into it, but that's probably going to put him out of contention in the sense of winning this race. That's for sure. Tough day, tough day here at Dover. Just tearing them up. Got 10 racers already out of the race. Quick update with T-Bone. If anybody knows stuff with Wi-Fi drivers, I would let him know, because that is seemingly what the issue is right now. He is having Wi-Fi driver issues. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are here and you are still watching us, we're about halfway through this race here, and things have really changed. Maybe for the better, maybe for the worse. Definitely for the drivers that things have changed, they see it as the worst. But with the changes that have happened, if you had any new prediction of who you think could pull this off tonight, get those put into the chat now. As well, if you are not, and you would like to be, subscribed to the channel, so that way you guys do not have to hear any of the stuff and the ads that we will run shortly. Let us know, or not let us know, sorry. Go ahead and subscribe, join, let us and join in. Have no ads at all. So we are back green here at Dover, 99 out of 200, 39 to go. Or it's 39 out of 40, sorry, of laps rated here in the second stage. That Mountain Dew is really getting to me tonight. Oh my gosh. So, Following JJ Morgan here in the lead, Vincent right on his tail. These two have been changing back and forth on the leads, and been a bit of a battle between these two, trying to figure out who wants it more. As we look for laps led here tonight, oh, Vincent right on his tail, but couldn't get quite a good run just out of the corner. Sorry, I can't speak tonight. So getting a good run out of the corner there, but could not make it up. Could not make it up as we're looking at laps led here tonight for these drivers. JJ Moore, 35 laps led on the night, doing solid for him as he's got his competition passing him up right here, taking another lead with 57 laps led for the night. Between these two, I think we have our possible winners. It's really going to come down to tire game if things start to settle out here with a lot of the field being crashed out. Does look like we have Lucas Lewis back on the field after that. Looks like his hit was a 139, so a good bit of damage there that he caught from that. Also had Kyle Sims that caught a 1:18 on that last pit stop there. And Brendan Carroll with a 1:07. So all those guys kind of, or sorry, that was 26 seconds. But on that last one, so guys just getting those cars fixed up while they can, where they can, doing any bit of work. You know, if they got a little bit of damage, we've seen enough of these guys so far tonight that have, you know, been meatballing into the wall a bit. So it is that track, you know, the second corner and that fourth corner, always those exits really struggle for a lot of these drivers on getting out of there without trying to smack into that wall, because they can carry a lot of speed through the corners, but it definitely doesn't benefit them when they're exiting. Again, thank you all for being here tonight. I know this is not the typical broadcast. We do not have T-Bone with us, and I am trying to fill in the best I can. But hopefully, everyone is still having fun here. We are following Naras, having a good time, racing around the track here. JJ Moore still in the lead. DJ Vincent right behind him in second. Mark Morton in third. Tristan Pena in fourth. And Isaiah Fox in fifth. $13 to go in stage 2 here. 108 laps run on Dover so far. JJ just still kind of holding that lead strong right now. He knows that if he can just kind of stay out in front here and not burn up those tires too much, he can hold off that lead. And speaking of the tires, we'll take another quick look here. Update ourselves on track temps. It's come down a good bit. And that's going to change up for a lot of these drivers how they're going to run this race. It was about 108, I believe, 109 earlier. So come down about 8 degrees makes a big difference in how these tires are going to perform with this track and react for these drivers. With an air temp still 84 degrees, 3 miles out of the South Alley. Well, southeast. Going through here. Got Brendan Carroll is the only guy that is, or maybe, let me double check here. Yep, he is out here. He is multiple laps down. Got 3 laps down for Brendan Carroll, but holding up the back of the pack, staying out there. And I think at this point, any of these drivers are just lucky to still be driving the track right now. That is for sure. Oh, okay. I'm not sure if you guys see that on your end, but mine is now messing up too. Oh no. 1 second, folks. Don't know why. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we are correct about that. Network issues are a problem tonight. It just kicked me out of iRacing. iRacing did just crash. So give me 1 moment, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try and get this back going, and we'll be right back with you. I'm going to throw it to commercial. And we are back. We do have the wonderful, illustrious Tyler back in the booth with us, but I am still in control.
Unfortunately.
Massive dread for
I feel
you,
like
that
I'm
is for sure.
I feel like I'm back up here with Owen, man. It's been about a year, honestly. About July would have been a year at this point in time last year. It was me and Owen up here, so I guess we're going back to the roots before we hit that 1 year mark of ARN.
You are right about that. It does feel a bit different. For me, especially being in control of the cup race is a bit weird.
Well, you better get used to it, because next year you'll be taking on Cup Series full term. Your man Kenny will be up here with you guys for all 36, actually, no, all 40 events. Well, maybe minus 2. I will probably be with you for the Clash if I don't get the fan vote. Hint, hint. And then I'll probably also be with you for qualifying and duels until it's my time to be on the track. So you'll have about 37 events by yourself next season. Maybe we can get someone else up here with you, of course. But right now, for what I haven't seen, has probably been a chaotic race to make 122 laps. Now at 133 under caution, probably the 4th caution so far tonight. Both of our SDKs are
Sixth?
going to be a little thrown off.
My SDK
Sixth,
is
good
saying
lord.
6th, yes. For some reason, my SDK is still working. We do have the progress bar and everything still working, so we are good on that. It,
Well, that's
for
good.
some reason, did not reset my SDK fully.
I
But
did
we
know we had a few cautions since then, though.
we do have
I mean, a few
10
wrecks since then, sorry.
drivers out for the night. Half the field is out for the night.
Jesus.
As we got Mark Morton up in the lead here, starting back in the stage. Well, no, we are in stage 3. They did roll it all the way through, so we are in stage 3 with 77 to go.
Now, this is going to be an interesting one, kind of like I was saying earlier on the night. Mark Morton, a very strong driver. He was screwed due to his PC, situation, the HDMI cord, and him thinking it was fans and possibly, CPU chips and something, just not being able to pinpoint it. Now that he's been back, he has been on a pretty dominant run here. He's been up in the front. He's been leading laps. Of course, still hasn't got that win. But you've got to kind of think, up to this point in time, if Morton didn't have any of his connection issues, where would he be on points now? I mean, he's holding pretty strong. He's gained, I believe, 4 positions over the last few weeks. Currently, right now, in the regular season standings, sitting at 15th. Just a few weeks ago, he was at that 22 mark. Before he went out, he was in the top 5. So you kind of got to think right now, if Morton didn't have his issues, didn't have to use his provisionals, wasn't 231 points back behind the leader, would he be the leader at this point in time over Lax and Rainey? Or would he still kind of be in that top 5 position?
Partner, I really do think that Mark Morton would be leading the points right now if he didn't have those issues with the dominance that he has had over the past few weeks that he's been back from those issues. He has constantly been within the top 5, if not within the top 3. And that type of dominance proves when it comes to those points.
And of course, a track like this being Dover, a very tricky track. I mean, a lot of people say it's almost near like a Pocono. All concrete tracks kind of hold their own. They operate differently. They kind of, you have different apexes. You have different diamond apexes, which if you're not familiar with a diamond apex is, they'll go all the way up in the corner, arc it down low at the very center, and then exit back up. Of course, you don't see many diamond apexes here on Dover, as it's normally that mid to low line that really takes form, and it's still a track that can take away either a big run in your season or give you a huge run, and it also kind of separates the boys from the men.
You are right about that. This track today has proven where that separation is, man. Just spitting them out left and right, as I've been saying, it's tearing them up. And the connection issues between crashes, between just having their own problems, man. These guys are all going through it. It doesn't matter who you are.
Now, of course, here tonight, coming into this race, Taking a look at our playoff points standings. Of course, I don't have a graphic for you, so we're just going to have to deal with word of mouth right now. Of course, major gains by Peter Hoppy to the cut line before that vanish. Major gains by Peter Hoppy to the cut line, but of course that can vanish in a flash. Right now, you saw it. Hoppy, one of the 10 drivers out in 16th at this point in time, probably where he will 100% be finishing. Of course, in 12th place right now, Joshua Mason at 91 plus. Of course, 13th with the provisional here tonight as he is on vacation. That is going to be RVR's very own Mark Randall, plus 66 at this point in time. Steel City's very own in 14th. That is going to be Jeffrey Bourne, plus 52 on points right now. Sitting at 15th is going to be Kyle Sims, plus 39. Sims on track right now, sitting in 8th place. Of course, only one position down from where he started on the grid. Still looking to make a move here and can really succeed over a few drivers with that spot he's in now. And then, of course, cutting that 16th line for the top 16, that is going to be Peter Hoppy, a plus 32 right now. The 4 drivers that are just outside of that cut line are going to be DCR's very own number 7, Brandon Carroll, sitting in 9th place right now. He is back by 32 points. Of course, behind him is going to be in 18th place, the 42 of Joshua Hahn, who is another driver who is out here tonight. That is going to be back by 42 points. 19th place right now, Kenneth Colson. He is not here tonight. He is back out by about 58 points and sitting in that 20th spot right now, the 4th person out of the top 16. That is going to be Jordan Otten, who we saw here tonight. Unfortunately, wreck out will finish in 14th place. He is back 86 points. Now, you got to think, we are on, week 13 for the Cup Series right now? Week 14, excuse me. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 weeks left until we hit Nashville to round out the rest of the regular season. There's not many weeks left to be able to really pull out a heavy points deficit. Now, I mean, a lot of those guys looking out to the inside, I mean, Brendan Carroll might be able to pull something with the way Peter Hoppy had performed here tonight. Of course, he'll be able to make up positioning. He'll probably be within a few tens, 10, 15 points roughly, maybe less than that. Joshua Hahn being wrecked out tonight, that's going to put him down further. Kenneth Colson not being here tonight, that's going to put him almost to the 80s, if not the 90s. And, Jordan Otten can probably move up above the 18th and 19th place of Hahn and Colson, maybe. I mean, he's back for 86 points, 42. There's about a 40-point deficit between 18th and 20th. He could catch some up tonight on that 18th spot and be looking a little bit better with 11 weeks to go. But, I mean, you got to kind of think for a lot of those guys outside of that top 16, it's kind of a battle that's a little bit of a losing one right now.
Yeah, you definitely are right. Partner, if you are out of the cut line, you got to make something happen. You got to make it happen quick. And the hard thing for those guys that are already outside the cut line is they already don't place as well as some of the others that are within it. So they really got to get some magic going to get something and to happen for them to get them within that cut line.
And then that's the thing, you're really preying on just a really good race. Now, if you have a specific race scheduled or circled on your schedule, then it'll work out for you. But you're also really having to prey on others' downfalls at the same time to try to make that work. I mean, right now, JJ Moore, he's sitting in first place right now. He's comfortable. He's calm. He's collected. He's 5th in points, 124 back from Owen. That's going to be a hard-fought battle to get at this point in time. He has 430 points with 2 wins right now, 8 starts out of the 14 weeks we're on. Well, actually, I think we had 2 off weeks. So, yeah, it's about 10 to 11 starts. he's sitting pretty comfortable right now. He has nothing to worry about. Another win will give him a little bit more cushion when it comes to the playoff points. Vincent, second place right now. He's a part-time driver. Points really don't matter to him. It's more of just stats right now. Of course, Mark Morton, like we said, he's in third currently. He is on the 15th spot for points. He's going to pass Peter Hoppy tonight, most likely, as they are, maybe 19 points separating them. So he'll be able to gain one position tonight. Most likely will gain some spots to Kyle Sims, or gain some points to Kyle Sims, as there's only about a 20-point gap to them as well. So he's closing down the marks to really make it within the top 10 right now.
And every single race that Mark Morton is out here, it seems like he just keeps getting closer, further into that stage, into the rankings. And, at this point with 11 weeks left, there could be a possibility of him, placing so well in so many races that he could start challenging like the top 5 in the points.
Another one that really needs to start challenging not just the top 5, but kind of challenging himself on a weekly basis. I'm talking about the 24 of Lucas Lewis right now. He's 12th in points. He's currently sitting 5th in the race here tonight. Of course, 352 points for him. Only one win. Coming into the season, he was what some would say the most hated driver based off of last season. He made more enemies than he made more friends. Now, to begin this season on the Cup side, he really had to dial it in. Got rehired by Parker Motorsports after getting fired from them last season, and kind of had to prove his worth. Fisher saw
partner,
a lot.
Lucas is really struggling here. I just saw him almost spin out once and then just smashed the wall there. He's struggling with that car right now. Sorry to interrupt you, but he is really struggling with that car. That crash that happened earlier for him might really have just messed that car up to a point where he's almost unrecoverable, because he's all over the track right now. Sorry to interrupt you. Continue, but just had to.
Nah, you're fine. I literally saw that, was about to call it at the same point in time. Trying to look at his car right now, because, I do have access. I am back in it to win it. He does have some front end damage. A lot of scuffs to the body panel on that right side. Definitely traded paints with the wall here. Yeah. I'm not seeing any damage that's really sticking out to me right now. Of course, probably a little bit of aero damage on that right front fender. It's more of a tire wear situation right now. They're probably about, 20 laps into the stage?
We're at 49 to go here. So you
out of
are
80,
about right.
So they're about 40 laps in, yeah. So the tire run here is about 30 to 50. 50 is going to be if you're really managing it, what a lot of people call sandbagging, not driving your corners very hard into your entrances and kind of just coasting through. So probably a tire situation we're seeing from him now. Of course, we're going to have to keep eyes on not only him, but the rest of the top 5 right now. Is that we should be hitting green flag pit stops anytime now soon. But, to wrap up what I was saying about the 24 of Lucas, kind of came in as the most hated driver from season 2, just off of his driving. Got fired from Parker Motorsports. Fisher gave him the opportunity to come and redeem himself. He's been talked to a little bit, in the last few weeks. Nothing. In the last few months that we've been back green here. Nothing too egregious on the Cup side. Now on the truck side, he had that situation where he got that suspension. We didn't see him at Talladega due to that. But, I feel like he's kind of turned himself around a little bit more. Of course, it's for some drivers, they probably wouldn't say it's been an entire 360. But look, any progress is progress. So, right now, I would say pretty good favorite to possibly take it back to the Final Four like he did last year alongside Isaiah Fox, who is now 7th in points, locked into the playoffs. And, Mark Morton again, who is 15th in points, like I said earlier, locked into the playoffs. The Final Four last season was that 24, was the 09 just in front of him. The 4-car of Rainey, who unfortunately isn't here anymore tonight, and the 9 of Fisher, who we saw wrecked out earlier. Fisher kind of had the same similar season as to what we've seen now. But at this point in time of the season, it was kicked into gear a little bit more. He got a lot of his wrecks out in the early stages for Parker Motorsports and kind of really prevailed. The team all fell in line and kind of helped each other. This season, it seems like they are on their own. Of course, now knowing that Parker Motorsports is being shut down at the end of the season, someone will be buying out the cars and all the equipment, the haulers that go with it, you've got to wonder, is that the situation we're seeing with the performance of these Parker Motorsports cars for the rest of the season right now? Are they really kind of self-preserving, not really caring about the teamwork because they might not be on the same team next season?
That is definitely a big consideration for a lot of these drivers, is they don't have a guarantee right now. They aren't sure where things are going, so maybe they're trying to make some friends while they can because they don't know where they could end up. As we go back here, we're going to come back to the front of the field for a second. Just check up. JJ Moore out here with a almost 3-second lead, about 2.6 lead here on DJ Vincent. Strong lead, but with green flag stops coming up, do you really think that's going to make a whole lot of a difference? Or do you think that they could just, with good strategies for DJ, could make that time up?
Now, I feel like with a good strategy, you will be able to make a lot of time up. I can't tell you for certain what's exactly going to happen with these drivers. Of course, they're not going to be dumb enough to take only 2 tires. Mark Morton now coming into pits. This time by, he will be the first one on a green flag pit cycle to join us here. I really can't say for certain what these drivers are going to do. It would be a dumb decision not to take 4 sets of tires here. Of course, that might give you a little disadvantage, but if you are within the situation of Morton now coming in, being that first car to come in, well, Kyle Sims was in at 121, but being that first car to come in now is Owen Lax is going to be in as well.
Isaiah Fox as well.
It'll give you a little bit of a advantage. Morton now is going to have the advantage on the exit over the 40 and the 09. He's going to have fresher tires than JJ Moore and Vincent, but you still have to remember, we don't know how much Moore has tried to save to actually be able to stay out. 50 Opinion now also going to be in pits, followed up by the 28 of Kyle Sims. And we are now waiting for our top 3 who have not been in yet. The 5 of Moore, the 10 of Vincent, and the 24 of Lucas Lewis. And, I'm sorry, our top 4, the 7 of Brendan Carroll.
And you are right about that, partner. With the pit cycles on how they're going to be here, these guys that are going in early, they're going to have the fresher tires, and some of these guys that are up in the front maybe want to run these tires a couple more times. But at the same time there, when these guys that are coming out of the pits get up to them, they're going to end up having less fresh tires, and maybe that could change things up. We're going to have a good bit of a mix of the field here that is going to be a few laps apart when it comes to the tires. You're going to really mix up the ending here because you're going to have guys on a bit fresher tires. You're going to have guys on those older tires. And there's going to be, it looks like, about 4 laps in between as JJ Moore and DJ Vincent coming in now to the pits. Brendan Carroll, what is he deciding to do here? Staying out. Still running it.
Most likely.
He's
most likely going to stay out, get that lap lead. Get at least a few laps led. A lot of times that lap lead can get you at least a bonus point. So,
yep.
Wise move. He's going to get at least a few laps led here on his season. For a car that doesn't have many manufacturing teammates for DCR, Dwayne Carroll Racing, known as formerly. You kind of want to do something a little bit different, a little bit advantageous, shall I say, and, be the one to stay out, get at least 2-3 laps led until you get past and then go into pits. I mean, he might know with 47 laps now done at an 80 for stage 3, there's most likely going to be a caution at some point in time. Someone's going to spin it on cold tires, and that also might be what he's waiting for. He might be waiting for one of these guys that are coming out of pits to go, gung-ho and maybe spin their tires out in the middle of turn 2. It's a treacherous turn. I would say 3 and 4 is a little bit harder, but you know it's highly unlikely. So right now he's probably just trying to go for some lap sled.
You are right about that, partner. But I will say, as JJ Moore, Mark Morton, and Vincent are out of pits right now, we got Moore and Morton that are on the lead lap, and Vincent that is just one lap down. Those are the three that have kind of been up towards the front, kind of challenging each other all race, and they are still right in that spot. The moment Carroll goes in, it's all going to start falling apart for his side of keeping up in the lead. Oh, as it looks like DJ's getting around and taking his lap back. Those tires, it looks like, are really wearing, and he's still deciding to stay out here. I'll give him the credit for getting the laps, but you got to begin to wonder where that's going to hurt you in the sense of just ending up in a much worse position. For this race, I don't really feel like it's going to matter as much, but generally speaking.
I mean, right now, Brendan Carroll sitting in 16th on points, doesn't have the win to lock himself in. He's 244 points back. Kyle Sims with a meatball flag somewhere on the track. Going to the backstretch. Something happened with the 28 of Sims. He is slowing down on the apron. He's in pits. He must have hit a wall there and caused some right front damage because his left side looks good.
It looks like I had a small disconnect of whatever might have happened, maybe. Let me pull back a little bit further here. And we'll watch, but he might have had a little bit of a network error on my end when that happened, and I'm not seeing.
Well, you got to remember, I do have those. Yeah, there was a little bit of a network error that cut out right there.
Yeah, it does seem like I'm not 100% sure there. Having a few network errors through that.
What a great day for racing, isn't it, folks?
Big story of the night is the network errors. You know, half this field is out from wrecking, half the field is out from network errors. It's like,
half the broadcast was out from. Oh no, there it is. There it is. So
Where'd you see it?
I actually was able to see it on my monitor. It was right before he came down into pits. Him and Lucas Lewis actually made a little bit of contact there. The 25 as well was just behind the 24. You could see it. Caleb Hess and Lucas Lewis were both together. The 28 of Sims took the high side and almost hit the wall. He came back down and tapped Lewis on the right side of his car, which sent him back up in the wall. Kind of the same situation we saw from Mason and Fisher, where that right front made contact first and gave him that damage. And that's exactly what put him down to pits. It was literally right before he came down to pit road.
Gotcha.
You are a little bit too far forward.
Yep, sorry. Just trying to scroll back as fast as possible, get to it there. Let's do a little bit more.
You should be able
was
to.
The bump there? Is that what you're talking about?
No, he hit the right outside wall. Go to you should have a thing on your tower that says Isaiah Fox. Where is it? Nope.
No, it didn't pop it for me, so that's why I was I don't have as great of tools as you do in your side. Maybe I haven't also learned my tools as well.
Yeah,
we'll pop back to live right now. In here.
Thankfully, you do Sundays for ARN After Dark, so you kind of already know what you need to do.
Kind of still learning a little bit here, folks. Sorry about some of the issues we are having. But we did not go yellow. We are still green here. We got JJ Moore still out in front, leading this race.
I might need to let you start running these for a little bit. Get used to them.
Yeah, maybe during the regular season is the best idea because championships, we need the best.
I'll take care of the playoffs. 23 laps left to. Well, I mean, you're screwed either way next season. So you'll have at least 36 races to get familiar. 23 laps left to go right now. JJ Moore, like you said, out front, 4.3 seconds over the 10 of Vincent right now. He's also, Vincent and Morton are pretty close. They could actually kind of get in draft here together and push up to the lead of JJ Moore and maybe start fighting for contention here. I mean, there's enough laps to do it. Let me put the headset on and see how the team's feeling.
Team motor mode turned on right there by our lead broadcaster. Again, JJ Moore still out in the front, as he's talking about, as we got the 7 there of Brandon Carroll coming out of the pits. But tonight, just the true story that we are seeing here, as we have 21 to go, is network errors and big crashes. The Monster Mile is not called the Monster Mile for anything. It is just chewing them up and spitting them right back out, as I've said a few times. And these guys, I imagine every single driver tonight is definitely not happy with what has happened on their own ends. $20 to go here. JJ Moore with a almost 5-second lead on Vincent, who just got out of 2.
Well, that's not happening.
Massive lead for Vincent. Still almost about 3 seconds ahead of Morton. Lax set almost 12 seconds behind Moore, but still holding on, as I'm having some more network issues there. Just the story of the night.
Yay. I swear to you folks, we have been good for weeks. I don't know why I'm even getting network issues, and I just updated my Wi-Fi after it just completely bricked itself. So, but this is also a thing we see, and I do note this a lot. I haven't said it recently because this season seemed to be going good so far. But every time we get that season update for iRacing, Kenny, I know this is your first season on iRacing, switching over. This is bound to happen a lot. Normally, week 1 of a season is god-awful for connection issues, for drivers, from broadcasters to hosted sessions. It's a slew of mess.
You are right about that, as Lax is cutting in and out right now.
Well, Lax is also not home. I think he is on vacation. I don't know if you saw.
He brought his whole PC on vacation?
I believe he brought his PC on vacation. I can go get. You know what? I'm going to go get a confirmation from that.
let's do that, because that is an interesting story.
Let's hold on.
If Lax is on vacation racing right now, that is going to be interesting, because I'm imagining he's probably not bringing the entire sim. So
Survey says
he's probably got a Logitech. And so, like I said, did he bring the whole sim
wheel with him?
Wow.
Yes, he brought his wheel with him.
I praise all around. I mean, dang, that's commitment right there.
I actually have a picture here. He literally brought his entire PC, his keyboard, his mouse, his monitor, the wheel and pedal set, and is sitting in a chair on a kitchen island.
I wish I could show that on stream right now without showing faces, because that would be insane to show.
there are no faces, so I'm going to go
send
ahead
it
and
over. I can try and
yeah.
Here we go. We are going to see something very new for Naras tonight on vacation.
This is Dover on vacation for you.
That is interesting.
I'm telling you, folks, this is the setup of the year. I promise you. You'll be more surprised.
At least it's an Airbnb. It looks like.
Well, you know what? To be honest, this isn't even the craziest story in the last 2 weeks. On Monday, if anybody watches here, that's here live now, whoever watches ARN on Mondays for the American Stock Car Racing League, we had the 33 of Josh Ball, who was just on vacation in the campgrounds, racing off a Steam Deck. So I've seen crazier things done. Man was literally racing with triggers and analog sticks. So I feel like Owens is a little bit more tame, but it's still in the wheelhouse of what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't, personally, partner, I don't race, but I did want to maybe do a little bit, but my wheel is a little bit broken. So I was thinking maybe a controller. That's crazy.
No, do not do that. Controller is god awful. It's about as worse as keyboard and mouse, anybody will tell you.
Oh,
do not do it.
I figured as much, because I looked up a video and I was like, okay, that's a bad idea.
Nine laps to go right now. JJ Moore in the lead. Vincent now 4.8 back. Seems like the tires are officially falling off. Morton, notably 10 seconds back from the leaders in third. Morton, I got confirmation from my driver. He is on 5-lap older tires in the top two. He is really just shooting for that third place finish right now, as it's going to be practically impossible for him to catch up. Moore and Vincent were a little bit
Sorry,
more
partner. I was
of
finally able to get the picture up here. Give me 1 second as I adjust it real
yeah,
quick.
you need to fit that to the screen.
There is the Owen Lax setup for the night. What a wonderful setup while he is on vacation. It is just beautiful. Everyone bask in its glory. All right, we'll turn that back off. But back to the race here, as you're saying, partner.
Morton noting earlier that JJ Moore and DJ Vincent are on more of a tire-saving strategy than he is. So, of course, with them being 5 laps ahead, having the stronger tires and being able to kind of save those tires as well has made a big impact for him not to be able to catch up. Now, I mean, we're looking at the gap. I'm looking at the gap right now. Owens is only 1.9 back. He's actually just lost 2/10 to the fourth place sitter of Owen Lax, and then Lucas Lewis not too far behind. The biggest thing with Morton and Lax is he has the 96 of Jeffrey Bourne just in front of Owen, so it's kind of giving Owen some draft, which isn't a good thing right now because it's, he's catching up to his teammate. But I mean, we got 5 laps to go now.
You are right about that, and Owen just trying to gain as much as he can. Everyone's had a hard race here, and as I was saying earlier, partner, you probably weren't here when I was saying it, but everyone's going to have some bad things to probably say after tonight. Not, everyone's had a hard race. It doesn't matter who you were. So it's been one of those days for everyone.
Yeah. For sure, man. I'm kind of ready just to get it over and done with.
As we are 3 to go here, JJ Moore still in the lead. DJ Vincent almost 6 seconds behind. Kind of looks like Moore is just going to somewhat run away with it here, as the entire last stage went caution-free. And 2 to go as Moore crosses the line. He does have I believe that is the, I can't see because I'm blind. Oh, the 08, sorry, the 08 of Charlie Bennett just in front of him here as he passes him up to throw Charlie down. Just another lap there. Not Charlie, that was Bourne. I can't see. My eyes are not working with me tonight. As we do get oh, sorry, not caution. White flag.
White flag, brother. White flag. There's the
this
difference.
Is why...
One is completely white. One is yellow. You might be colorblind.
This is why I typically let you kind of handle it, and I'm getting a little bit better as time goes on. So we do have unofficial results with the checkered flag of JJ Moore in the lead here. Finishing off the race, man. Wonderful race by everybody, I will say. Strong field that we had out here tonight, and half that strong field just got obliterated by network or crashes or anything that you can think of. It has been one night at Dover for all of these guys. JJ
J
Moore.
J
We had the
at
same
the same
thought there,
time.
partner.
At the same time. That's how I know you're learning.
Yes, you are right. And JJ Moore, great burnout there. Took a bit of a second for it, but just a wonderful way to end that race for Moore. As we will take a short little break, just give us a couple seconds here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to figure a couple things out, and then we will
Well,
come back with some interviews here shortly.
okay. Right. Well, we are going to be talking to our top three drivers tonight. Of course, Mark Morton first, DJ Vincent second, if he chooses to take the interview, which he seems he is. He is in the waiting room. And then we're going to be talking to our winner here tonight, that being the 5 of JJ Moore. Now we're going to bring in a good buddy of mine, driver of mine. It is going to be the 99 of Mark Morton.
That is I.
Well, man, you know, you were able to hold off Lax very close margins there, but you were able to hold him off to finish the race. I think it was what 0.35 before he got to your rear bumper at the white flag. 5 lap different tires, but of course that's not what we're really talking about here. Dover, the hardest concrete track with its banking to save tires. First off, how did the car feel for you tonight?
It was weird. It was tight in, loose off, or loose off, tight in, tight off. Whichever the one. Sorry, I'm trying to find the remote for the TV because I don't want you to
Oh,
hear
you're
Boba Fett in the
fun.
background. Um, it, it was, it was, it was, it was the, it was it. That's about all I can say. I mean, I don't know. Like, I couldn't figure out how JJ and DJ were doing it what they were doing. I honestly want them inspected after the race because JJ just dog walked the hell out of all of us. Um, I mean, the first couple stages I was able to figure out. Um, well, excuse me, first couple stages I couldn't save tire to what the lick, but then I was able to figure it out and thought I was able to save better tires than JJ and DJ, but nope, they both dog walked the hell out of us again and kept on going. And I was just like, well, it's a fight for P3.
I mean, now of course, you've been doing pretty good on points here the last few weeks. Still doing good on points tonight with another top three finish. Now we are really closing in at what some would call a little bit of an easy break. Of course, we're gonna have Daytona, and then kind of nothing really challenging to a veteran driver like you and JJ. You've got to kind of think, there's going to be a little bit of ruffling in the air here, but I mean, of course, we're going to have Kentucky, New Hampshire, Indianapolis. There's a little bit sprinkled in there with Sonoma, Martinsville, New North Wilkesboro, New Hampshire. But I mean, a lot of tracks we've seen you be pretty confident and comfortable on here. The question that everybody keeps wanting to know, with the amount of weeks we have left and your position on points, is it just day by day, week by week progressions for you, or are you really trying to boost at least 2 to 3 positions every time you touch a track?
Definitely want to. go get a couple of positions week by week. I don't want to. The higher I'm up, the safer I am. Because I don't want to be at the bottom, trying to race my way in and then be aggressive and then, ruin my shot at winning it and having to be like Rainey from last year and having to do a win to get in. I don't know, just take it race by race and, just not trying to force any issues. I mean, I'm getting back up there, and this is 3 weeks in a row that I was able to talk to you to get a top three, which is good. So it's progress. Um, it's just I don't know how I'm going to feel about all these intermediate tracks. I am excited for Daytona though, because you know how I am at Daytona, and Daytona is going to be a fun, and just hopefully everybody doesn't remember how to do Daytona like I can do Daytona. But
Well,
hopefully, Indy. Hopefully, I don't have another Indy like last year.
well,
I
now,
could. Sorry.
no, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
Uh, my mouth is speaking faster than my brain can produce words. Um, I'm just Kentucky's gonna be a good one. I don't know about Northwestboro. Northwestboro, I think it might be a little bit too much horsepower for the short track that it is. It might put on a good show. It might not, depending on how the car feels on the track.
Right. Now, of course, I don't know if you've tested it here recently, but it seems like there has been a little bit of a shift when it comes to the super speedways. Now, I'm not going to say that on here, A, because it's team strategy and you are my diva, you are my driver, but B, we're not also trying to let everybody know of the shift, but might have to dial it in a little bit different come next week now. I'm not sure if you've been familiar with that. I would assume you weren't because you didn't say anything about it. Now, without giving out too much detail, um, are you kind of going to be comfortable doing the same strategy at Daytona, or are you going to try to switch it up next week?
Um, yeah, I'm definitely not catching what you're putting down, unfortunately. Um, yeah, so I really don't know how to answer for you on that one. You might have to talk to me after until we can figure out how we're gonna take on Daytona.
Now, of course, it was a pretty rough race here tonight. I believe we had 7 cautions to finish the night. I lost count for about a whole stage dealing with network issues. Um, 13 positions. No, you were not third. No, you started in what, sixth, fifth, and sixth? You
Fifth,
and Tristan? Yeah, so I mean, you're
yeah,
you're about 2 positions up, which still a pretty good margin to gain. I mean, fifth place still wouldn't have been the worst on you. Obviously, you gained some points on Owen tonight, as you finished above him at stage three, and Lucas Lewis, you gained some points on both teammates of Pena and Bourne. I mean, we're looking pretty good right now. Of course, how did you feel comfortably in the car tonight coming back to Dover this season?
I hated it. I was realistically, I'm just counting down I was just counting down the laps up. Like midway through, I was just like, well, I mean, I'm okay. I can get a top 10 and just go play some arc raiders, but Um, I wanted to see it through. I mean, because for a second there, I thought um, DJ and JJ were gonna bump doors and both go around, which would have been like, oh, now I got a chance to win. But as skilled as both of them are, I didn't think it was gonna happen. I was rooting for it in my head, but um, they were both so far. They were both so spread apart. I didn't think it was impossible for them both to go to collect each other and just evaporate out of my way.
Now, of course, with this race in the books, top three finish for you. We already know who's going to be second on this list and then third. But what shout outs would you like to give tonight?
Uh, First and foremost, both of you guys, for taking time out of your evening to broadcast the race as always. Secondly, of course, my computer for holding in on me. That's ordeal
Oh,
that
you're
her and
getting
I have.
killed.
Um, but no. My third one's gonna be my wife, but she took my spot going to PBR tonight, so she's gonna go watch.
Oh,
She's watching
yeah.
people getting bucked off of bulls and Tim McGraw. So um, I'm not giving her a shout out. I mean, I guess this is kind of a shout out, but this is the only shout
It
out
is a
she's gonna
shout
get
out.
because um, and definitely my oldest daughter for watching my youngest daughter while I raced, but she didn't really do much because my youngest one is just on her iPad and just I mean, but she's being attentive to her needs. But Tristan and Jeffrey for, hanging in there and duking it out with the points and everything. I'm looking at it as they're updating. My head is not. I'm not. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not. I'm looking at. I'll figure it out later. Um, and everybody else in ooh, Naris for showing up and putting on a heck of a show. My mind is two different places right now. I'm setting up my about to play some Arc Raiders, and I'm watching the points. I'm watching the highlights from the Xfinity race today. It's just my mind, like I said, my mouth is putting out words my mind cannot make up yet.
Well, I think that was a fantastic way to sum up how we all felt today. And obviously, congrats on your top three finish tonight. I'm not even. I might as well just move you out of here 'cause before you start messing up any worse. But of course, congrats to your top three finish tonight, man. Definitely look forward to seeing what the Super Speedway next week's going to hold in store for you and Tristan again, as that was Tristan's first win. You followed him the week after, so maybe we'll see a 1, 2, 3 from Steel City.
Hey, that's the game plan. If everything works out how it's going to be, it'll we'll have the first 1, 2, 3 for Steel City. I think and I also want to say maybe the first 1, 2, 3 in all of Naris ever for Team
Uh,
Wise.
I was about to say Jordan will fact check you on that quick. I don't know about that. So
I don't remember.
he'll correct that if it's wrong. Yeah, I don't know. I believe I want to say there was a race last season, but I'll claim it as the first. Well, of course, man. We're gonna let you go here and get on Arc Raiders and enjoy the rest of your night, man. Once again, congrats, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you guys. Have a blessed night.
You too, man. That was our third place finisher. Oh God, he's gonna kill me. Marble Mouth Mark Morton.
One
Oh, I'm
heck
gonna
of a
get killed.
nickname.
I'm gonna get killed. Hey, look, I can't get too killed because I control his car for the next season. So on to second place. It's gonna be a good buddy of mine as well, on and off the track. Someone we haven't seen in a few weeks, and hopefully he's gonna mind his p's and q's. And remember, we're on TV where the kiddos are watching, so watch what we're saying here. That's gonna be the number 10 of DJ Vincent.
Hola.
Hi, buddy.
Hola.
So, welcome back. One hell of a race.
Yeah.
Obviously, you been away for almost 2 months now. You came in as a full-time competitor to start the season with RVR, then had some extra hours pop up in real life necessities, and took on the adventure there, and then decided to come back as a part-time driver, and now finishing second on your return. So how are you feeling?
Pretty good, man. It was a lot of fun. Uh this is one of my favorite tracks, so when I seen it was coming up on the schedule and I wasn't, you know, my overtime was done for the weeks I was working, I decided I wanted to run. And because it's one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah,
Danny?
and what a strong race you did have tonight. You led a good number of laps there, DJ. What do you feel like really contributed to your strong finish here that you did have?
Uh I love Dover, man. I've spent a lot of time at Dover, especially in the B Open series. Got a lot of wins here in that series, and so it was a no-brainer for me to come race tonight because I knew I could at least finish, top five, if not try to snag a win. But it was tough keeping up with that five car, man.
And that would be falling into the next question is what were the challenges you were kind of dealing with that 5 car throughout the night? I saw you guys battling back and forth there for a good while.
I think he managed his tires better than I did. I would tend to drive it into the corner harder. Um, After that last pit stop that we had, I pushed it a little too hard, trying to gain some time back up on him. So I mean, I just tried to, just try to maintain the position that I was in, and I'm happy, man. That was it's probably one of my best finishes that I've had running in the league. So uh, congratulations to JJ on the win, man. He definitely deserved it as fast as he was.
No, of course, we haven't heard much silly season news from any of the RVR camp other than Mark Randall saying he's not going to be returning next season. Are you still looking to kind of be a part-time driver, not only just for RVR, but kind of just for Naris in general? Are you trying to make it back to full-time, God willing, or what does next season kind of lay for you being in a car?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I want to come back and be part time again, like I am this season, and run the races I want to run. But I don't plan on being in a Ford.
Well, that is interesting.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, being a part-time driver, it of course, not in contention for a championship, not in contention for points, but still can kind of show out and fill a car in for a team, wherever it may be. Do you feel like it's a little bit easier for you to not have to worry about the week to week? Or is it a little bit more stressful having to pick and choose what races and having them circled as the possible win like tonight could have been for you and kind of being 6 seconds back with 20 laps to go?
See, and that's the thing with my work schedule. I never know if I'm going to be here or not. So I don't get me wrong. I love racing, but I'm looking to go somewhere where they're going to be okay with me uh, showing up and racing the races that I want to race because if sometimes I got to work a Saturday or I need to work a Saturday and I don't want to have to worry about consistent points. And so if I can come in race a race like tonight, you know Dover being one of my favorite tracks, it was nice. I didn't feel so stressed. I wasn't really worried about points. I was just worried about having a good run and trying to win. So if that could play out for me next season on a team, then that's what I'm looking for.
Now, of course, we still have about 12 weeks left. I believe 11 now. Are we going to be seeing you back on the track within those 11 weeks trying to get a win here this season in a Ford? Or are we kind of up in the air as of right now as to what races you will be able to attend?
All I can say is you'll see me when you see me.
Well, this is, it's like the Naris's version of Batman.
Yep. Yeah. I guess you could call it that. Yeah.
Now, kind of going back to the race here tonight, tire wear, obviously a big thing at Dover. Gen 6 cars, everybody knows, are kind of known for a little bit more of the weight on them and, right side distribution to the left side tire wear. Big difference. Of course, you are well adept to iRacing itself and, the ovals more preferably, the O'Reilly's cars than the next gens or the Gen 6s. But how hard was it for you to have to manage your tires for stage one and two leading up to stage three?
I honestly, I've done enough racing at Dover. I could kind of tell how it's going to play out with the tires. I really just tried to sit and ride around the first couple stages, whether I was up front or in the middle of the pack. But tires definitely came into a play, especially at the end of this race here. After we got that last pit stop, I definitely pushed it a little too hard, trying to catch back up to JJ. So, um, yeah, I just figured if I wouldn't have tried to push it I wouldn't have had any kind of chance to try and catch him. He ended up having a really big lead on me. So I mean, you know, pushing it or not pushing it really didn't matter. JJ was super fast, and I did everything I could to catch him.
Of course, man, before we let you go here tonight, after a really good race back after about a 2 month hiatus, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give to anybody?
Yeah, I want to shout out you boys in the booth, Kenny, Tyler. I appreciate what you guys do over here, man. You guys put on a hell of a show every week. I want to shout out Jordan for letting me come and run these races when I want to race. And uh, I don't know what happened to my RBR guys tonight, but shout out Rainey for getting me into this league in the first place.
Well, of course, man. Congrats on the second place finish. I know it wasn't probably where you were wanting to be, but still, at the end of the day, a good finish for someone who hasn't been here in at least 8 races. So hopefully, look forward to seeing you back up and on the tower again, and maybe next time in Winter Circle.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Like I said, I don't have any plans on when I'm coming back, but you might see me a little bit more next season.
All right, brother. Well, until next time, we hope you have a good one.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. That was our second place finisher of DJ Vince, and seems like there's a little bit hanging in the balance right now. That doesn't know if he's going to be back the rest of the season. Looking for a ride next season, and you know, a pretty strong driver to just be a part timer. Of course, life comes before enjoyment. You got to make those sacrifices, but it would be nice at one point in time to see Vincent fighting for a championship.
And you're right about that, partner. Vincent, very strong driver. It's always sad to not see these guys be able to really show themselves off because they're such great drivers.
Of course, one more person to interview that is going to be your winner tonight is going to be the Chevy number 5 of Parker Motorsports, J. Moore.
What's going on, fellas?
Well,
Well, I was going to
we,
ask you the same question.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I'd say we're doing all right. Not too shabby. A little tired, but I'm saying we'll work through it.
Well, JJ, man, you started 15th tonight, and really powered through the field to get up to the front. What do you really feel like is giving you that contributing factor of making the moves that you made tonight?
Um, I don't really know. I think the biggest thing is just the ability to kind of save tire because I feel like I can save tire better than most of the field because I didn't feel like a lot of the moves I had were early in the run. I felt like a lot of them came 15, 20 laps in once people started to fall off and um just the tires start grading away because it's a damn cheese grater of a track. And it's just all about saving tires early in the run, and it's just I kind of feel like it just got lucky. Well, not even lucky. I don't even know how to describe it. I'll be honest. I don't know. I thought the biggest factor was saving tires. I know that for a fact. I just don't know how to really word it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And so you ended up with a 6-second lead on DJ Vincent, which Vincent and Mark Morton, the top three there, considered some of the top drivers here in the series. How do you really feel about getting a win over guys like that?
Um. Well, honestly, I know they're some of the top guys in the series. Obviously, Mark's missed a couple races. DJ's on like a part time basis, but I'm saying I see myself right up there with them because now I think I have the most wins this season of any Cup driver, and I'd feel like just the ability to show up each week and be able to contend for a good finishing position, top five, top three, and wins. I feel like I'm right up there with them, and I know they're very quick, and I know Like for example, last week I know Mark was really quick. I don't think he got away with the win, but every time I saw he was up near the front, top two, top three, or up there in the lead. I know DJ's very quick. I've seen him in here multiple times last season and this season, and I feel like we're just all very similar, and it's just kind of depends on what track we wind up going to that week for who's going to be the quickest.
Now, of course, 3 wins so far this season, 108 points back from our current points leader of Owen Lax, now sitting third in the points. We are knocking on the door within the next few weeks of the playoffs start. How are you feeling about your opportunity to possibly come in and take that regular season championship?
um, I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna take a lot. Um, I've missed a couple weeks, and obviously Owen's been really consistent. I don't think he's wrecked out of a race, or if he has, he's still managed half decently. And it just comes down to whoever's the most consistent. I feel like I have probably the best pace in the league, but I still get my fair share of drama. There's races I still get wrecked out of and turned in, and I've wound up not having the best position. That's put me behind the eight ball. But I feel like the biggest thing to catch is just going to be consistency. Going out and doing like what I did tonight, just getting stage points that are higher than Owen's, getting the finishing over Owen, leading the laps, getting poles. I'm saying it's just kind of I got to chip away at it because I know I'm not going to get there in one or two races. It's going to take most, if not the whole rest of the regular season, to chip away at it and get there. But um, I'm hoping I can get there. It's just going to have to be. We're just gonna have to see. I don't think I'll get there. I think Owen's got that in the bag now, but I'm definitely gonna try my hardest to try and get there.
Now, Dover, hard track to really maneuver not only through the field, but maneuver on your own set of tires. Of course, track rubbers up over time. It'll help out. I mean, I think track temps consistently stayed within the 100, about 109 to 110 degrees at all times. It's pretty hot. That will help the tires rubber up, but it'll also kind of hurt the track itself. So how did you feel about, the actual rubber presence on the track, and did it negatively affect you, or do you feel like it actually helped you out in a way?
Well, honestly, what I was noticing is a lot of people running up in the middle groove, kind of the middle to top where all that rubber was on the track. And I felt like I was getting below the rubber because I noticed a lot of people were going up towards that middle groove, and it kind of just it didn't really allow me to have fresh rubber, I don't think, because there were some times I had to jump up top. But I felt like for the most part, I could just get down below the rubber, and that could kind of help me save tire because not a lot of people were actually going down that low, and that kind of kept the track fresh the whole night. And I feel like just going up top, you get in the rubber, it starts chewing up your tires, and it just kind of it wound up hurting people. And I think that's another reason that helped me just start being able to save tire 15 to 20 laps in. It's just not being on that rubber all the time.
Of course, man. Second to last question for you here tonight. You know, with the cautions involved and us having, that hard tire run laps, not really, well, the first two stages, not really being too hard when it came down to the fuel run. Did you kind of have your pitch strategy for stage three developed early on because of stage one and two, or was that something you kind of waited to see the progression of the other drivers first?
Um, I was kind of just looking at how other people did it. I know that I was definitely gonna try and run it longer because I felt like I could save the tires the best, and I felt like if I got behind somebody, that I could go up there and pass them, like save better tire and get back up there and pass them. And I think it was Morton was like one of the first people up near the front to go in, and I said, okay, well I'll put in a couple laps, I'll let him get on new tires, let him cycle out in front of me, and I didn't really think anyone else outside of us three, me, DJ, and Mark, really was in contention for battling for that win. I felt like there, if people really short pitted, they probably could have been up there, but no one did. So I felt like it was just a game of when me and DJ pit compared to Mark, and I know me and DJ pit on the same lap, and Mark came out behind me. I felt like if Mark came out just in front of me, it would have been a whole different game because I would have been sitting there behind him for a couple laps, possibly burn up my stuff a little bit, let DJ catch back up, and it would have been a whole different race. But I got really lucky with Mark falling out behind me, just like a second behind me, and I felt like that just kind of played the whole race. Well, first shout out, just as always, is all of the guys of Parker Motorsport, Jordan, Josh, and Lucas. I know Jordan and Josh got wrecked out. Lucas got, I think, fifth. It was. So, it wasn't necessarily the best team performance, but we're always, I feel like we're the dominant team of the series still. And I feel like next week at Daytona, we can show that. Well, us four will all be working together. Um, and I can't thank Jordan enough for the opportunity to be on the team. And Josh and Lucas's help each week with all of us communicating, figuring out what to do. I do want to thank DJ. I know me and him had a couple good battles there through the run. I think it was stage one and stage two. We were both battling tight there. And for all the wrecks that I saw, especially that big one early on, it was good to see that I could battle with someone that we didn't have a wreck with. I'm saying he respects me. I respect him equally back. And it was nice to just have someone I could sit there and battle with, make a little bit of contact, and we could rough each other up, but it didn't really bother any of us. So I do want to thank DJ for battling with me, keeping it clean. Um, I'll thank you all for broadcasting each week because, as always, it's very good to have us up on Twitch and YouTube. I think this week. Um, and yeah, I think just everyone that puts everything into Naris, all the admins that puts their time in each week to allow this league to keep going. Just got to thank all them. Oh,
I mean,
you can definitely predict it when it comes to a place like Daytona, and it is not going to be in first place. I'll tell you all that much.
well, we'll keep eyes on you, man, as you got the most wins on the season now. So all eyes are going to be on you going into next week. I hope you know that.
I'm gonna play the team game next week. I know as a team we've not necessarily been doing the best in the win column. I know Lucas got two and I've got three, but we need to get Josh and Jordan up there. So I'm gonna try and help them out and get them one. So you'll see me up there. You'll probably see me up there with the rest of Parker Motorsport though.
All right, brother. Well, until next week, hopefully we're talking to you again. If not, we hope to catch you in the near future.
Yeah, hopefully y'all see me next week, but if not, you'll see me before the playoffs. So y'all gentlemen, have a good night, and hopefully it's soon that I'll talk to y'all.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it really just depends on the strong suit of each driver's tracks and kind of figuring out, what you can do. Of course, that 10-minute warm up period gives you time to kind of also figure out what everybody else around you is going to be doing. So you get a lot of research and development before it goes green, but it always comes back to how strong are you at the track or at yourself. Yeah, I mean, good win tonight overall. I mean, pretty strong field here. Tristan Pena, Lucas Lewis, Lax, Morton, of course, Vincent coming back here again. And I feel like it would have been a little bit stronger if we had a few of those cars that wrecked out early on, be able to finish. Could have been a different top five, if not a completely different top 10. I mean, things happen. It's part of racing, including our broadcast going down. Oh, I thought I gave you graphic. I am slacking. Already.
All right.
Well, be sure we don't need a graphic. I have
Yeah.
enough memory for doing it over the last 4 months. Be sure to check us out. First off, something new, Winner's Circle podcast here on Twitch tomorrow, right after the Cup race. Then on Sundays for ARN After Dark, where Kenny will be back in the booth by himself for the No BS Racing League.
We are absent
Mondays.
this week. This week we are absent this
Oh yeah,
week,
I'm sorry.
so we will be
We are
coming
absent
back
this week for Father's
after.
Day. So yeah, catch us next week, not this week. If you come this week, go watch the replay from last week. On Monday, we will be live for the last race of the season for the American Stock Car Racing League, their final 4 race. Confirmed next gens back at Daytona. And then of course Thursday, be sure to catch us live for the Right Time Truck Series, second to last. No, I'm sorry, the last race of the season championship on the line between Mike Nitti Jr. and David Callahan for the first season. And then, of course, Fridays for the Truck Series here for the Fisher Studios side of things. And then right back here on Saturdays for the Next Gen Final Farewell Tour Gen 6 cars for the Cup Series.
Well, what a wonderful race we ended up having here. We've talked a lot about this race, and this race just turned into pure chaos as we expected. You know, it threw out half the field within the first 2 stages. So that was one way to go through Dover. Um, that is for sure. With that being said, we're getting to the end of the race here. We really want to thank every single person that has been here and supporting us and helping out with just being there, being giving us the views and all that stuff. You guys are really the core of what we're doing here. We couldn't do it if we don't have some people there that are actually watching and giving us, that attention. Because I feel like on our end, it feels somewhat gone with if we don't see people that are actually working or watching. Sorry. And with that being said, we will leave you guys off here with the white flag lap of JJ Moore starting in 15th and finishing out the race in first. Thank you all and have a great night.